All right, make dinner with me. So I am gonna make some lentil and rice soup. I have a pork roast that I cut into pieces so that I'm not eating it as a roast. Gonna be making it into soup. So I'm gonna start with 6 cups of water. Ooh, guys don't have gas stoves. I'm not giving them my wife. That's because that burner's not all the way on. Just showing you how dangerous stuff can be. So I cleaned my burners earlier, and apparently that one... Sorry, I wasn't the one that cooked. I was just cleaned up after my roommates used the kitchen. They did make me dinner or lunch or breakfast. I mean, that's the only meal I've had so far today. 1 salmon patty. All day. 4. Water in the pan. Turn the burner on high. No explosions this time. That was good. So this evening I had this lentils and rice mix. I mean, I could have just mixed up lentils and rice myself, but you know, it's like there's a few other things in there. Carrot, white onion, tomato, celery, white cabbage, and bell peppers. Handy. Once this boils, I'll be adding this in. So I want you guys to think of like this pork roast that I'm used, like not just like as a pork roast. Think of it as like a ham hock, right? It's pork, it's ham, it's the same animal. I get my cutting board. This is the piece of meat that I have. I'm really poor, so I'm going to wash my bag out. so the piece of pork I have is partially frozen. Still, it's not completely defrosted. It was defrosting it in the fridge slowly. I did take it out today, so, all right. So I'm gonna try to cut these pieces into cubes. Was working on something else, which just went off, so I'm gonna check them. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna move this. Okay. So, what I'm doing, like I said, since it's still frozen, it's giving me a little bit of, it's fighting with me a little bit, but not too bad. Nothing I can't work through. For anybody that, forgot to take something out for dinner. I mean, lentils is something that they give away at, the food banks, and a lot of people don't know how to use them. So hopefully this will help. And pot, what do you think? Lentils, some fat, I'll leave it big. The rest of the meat I clean the fat off of. Leave that piece in there for the flavoring. I'm going to do the same thing with this one to get as much of the protein off as possible. The really nice thing about, pork is that generally speaking, your fat clusters are together. I'm cut it all off, right? Another piece of red meat. So like I said, I'm trying to kind of cube these is my goal here. Smaller pieces of fat I'll throw away. If you have a dog or, animals or something, they'd be fine. Still plenty of meat in there. Just trying not to eat the fat. But you know, if you're poor and that's like, you know, something you need, like you eat it. Like, I don't judge you. It's okay. We've all been there. If we haven't, we're going. Everybody's gonna be poor someday. Can't just be like the most wealthy person in the world and never expect like you're gonna have to, you know, see how the other side lived. I mean, God doesn't work like that. But I mean, you guys have the right to believe what you believe. My God's an equal, fair, just God. Okay. Cut this off. So it looks like my water is boiling. I am going to go ahead and throw the meat in there first. Get the water back to a boil, and then I'll throw in the lentils and the rice, as well as the vegetables. The dried variety. You know, and I want to give this an honest like shot and, you know, kind of see how it tastes like before I add anything else. So I'm just going to go in, you know, with that bag. There came a seasoning packet inside of it. I've got 6 cups of water already boiling. But, you know, this roast came from the food bank. Super grateful. I spent a lot of time volunteering for the kindness that they shared with me. You know, when I was able to give them time back, you know, and I'll give them some more. I got more time for them. My daughter's coming. Maybe we go up there together. Still on the roster there and at the Catholic Church. This one's from the Presbyterian Church. Thank you. I mean, and thank you to the places that, you know, distribute and, you know, help donate stuff like this. You know? Okay. Right, as you can see. These bigger pieces that are not gonna have to worry about them getting mixed up and accidentally eating them unless they want them. I mean, they taste good. There's nothing wrong with them. So I'm gonna throw them in the pot for the flavor. And these pieces here I'm throwing away. Wash my hands and my cutting board. This really awesome cutting board holder at the end of my island over there. Look at how cool this is. So I can throw it right in here. Know it's clean, know it's sanitized, got its own place to dry. Don't have to worry about it. I like a clean kitchen, which means I clean as I go. Okay. Sorry. Okay, put my phone in the drawer. So, let's see if this is boiling. And almost immediately, you're gonna see, like, you know it's pork because the color changes, right? Like a gray. Almost looks like chicken. It'd be hard to determine if you didn't know for sure what it was. Right. Do you have a boil again? Dumping in my lentils and my rice. Go ahead and throw my seasoning in there. And a few grains of rice that attach to it. The soup came from the warming center that is part of the Lutheran Church. Or at least right next to it on their property. Right, so let's see what it says. Maybe about 20 minutes. I will take you in for a little peek. It's not like me not to season things, but like I said, I want to give it an honest taste before I put any of my own, you know, consciousness on what I think it should taste like. Right. Stay tuned, part 2, I'll show you later.